Hello viewers, today we will be refurbishing an AT&T telephone. This is a 5710, and this is one of the more uncommon models that AT&T produced during this time period. It was designed specifically to be very ergonomic, and so that's why we end up with this interesting curvature on the handset and kind of a almost a bulky design. But it does feel relatively nice in the hand, and it makes for an interesting piece. Whoops, no intercom in here. Anyways, not too dirty. The buttons and everything work perfectly fine. But we're going to go ahead and open this up and take a look inside and clean out whatever dirt has gotten in there over the past 20-something years. And then we're going to put this into use here. Alright, the handset has been cleaned. I wiped off the base and removed the dust with a toothbrush. I think we're just going to leave that alone because it's not really dirty at all, and there's no point in spending the time going in there if you don't have to. So some notes about the handset. I really don't like the design of the handset. The handset is very non-user serviceable. The buttons are just there's nothing holding them together. They're just on their own in there, which is just a pain in the rear for taking it apart and putting it back together. The battery contacts appear to be removed from the, like go out like that, which means the wires have to be removed. So that's not very user serviceable. The board itself is a fair bit more advanced than I was expecting. But the board itself it looks fine, so we're going to leave that alone. The dial board is actually a separate board which plugs into looks like a 12-pin connector on the back. So that's kind of an interesting design. Now, it uses one of these dial pads, and these dial pads, at least like on the 5600 series, occasionally were an issue, and they didn't register button presses very well. And it wasn't so much a problem with something wearing out, it was more of a design flaw within these keypads. Now this one, it works okay, and I guess the way these buttons interact with this keyboard is okay. There was a few different designs that were used around this time period. I don't remember offhand which ones had the issue. This looks familiar, so this may be one that has the issue. But perhaps not. Either way, it's working perfectly fine, so I left that alone as well. There's no reason to mess with that if it's working. So we're going to go ahead and reassemble the handset now. It's going to take a fair bit of time because I have to be very careful as to which order all these buttons go in so that they're on the right function. And I also have to do some soldering to get the battery contacts back on. Okay, so the telephone is back together. has been cleaned. The antenna has been polished. That came out pretty good. That's nice and shiny now. The handset is clean. The buttons are not sticky anymore. Hopefully they'll stay that way. And I suspect the audio pickup will be a lot better now. I wish I had this part of the refurbish on video. When I was cleaning this portion of the microphone, there was actual like pieces of dirt coming out that were the shape of this these three vents, if you will, for lack of better terminology. And so I imagine that was nearly blocked up. So hopefully the audio pickup will be a little better now. It'll sound clearer, and otherwise it should work. So let's go ahead and turn it on. We're not plugged in here. It's not going to work. Whoops. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that microphone is a little bit more sensitive now. Check. It sounds louder. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll go ahead and run through the numbers again just to make sure that's still good. Do a channel change. Power it off. On. Is it on? Okay, so that's working. Memory works. But I don't know how to program it. Alright, so that's working. Let's ring it up. So that's this equipment not working correctly. I don't know why the thing is doing that. Check, 1, 2, 3. It is working. Hello, hello. Okay. It's got an outside line here. Let's see how this sounds. For some reason it's not dialing out properly. It's not the phone, it's the service. Why is this not... There we go.
Variety of checking account options. People's United Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Today is Friday.
Seems louder than it was before. Perhaps this was blocked up with the same dirt that this was. Well, that's that. This is now working and ready to go. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.